Welcome back. Money really is a mindset, and I'd like to share with you a few things in this video that have really helped me over the years. And I say helped me, they've sort of been part of my overall approach to business, money, wealth creation, all of that sort of stuff. Without really intending it to be the case, it's just been the way that I approach things. So if you're new to me, I'm Daniel Shunsmith. I run the Black Belt Barrister channel and the Black Belt Secrets channel, where I'll give you my personal views. And here, I hopefully will help you to create wealth, whether that's business, within your job, your career aspirations, or just generally making money in one form or another. And so I would like to do a few different types of video on here, a little bit more relaxed, but talking to you from real experience, because I had to sit down with someone just recently where they paid somebody else to hold their hand, I don't like the phrase, but hold their hand through the process of setting up a business so that they will then be making money by the time they've ended their arrangement with them paying them money every month. Now, I don't believe in that. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, and I can help people to avoid mistakes that I've made myself and to say these things just don't work. So I'll tell you a few of those first, then I'm going to talk to you about the mindset aspect, because that's really, really important. So the things that don't work, it doesn't matter how good your logo is. It doesn't matter how good your headed stationery, your notepaper and things like that is. It doesn't matter really how, well, if your whole business is through your website, then it does matter how good your website is. But if the website is just to say who you are and what you're doing, then it just needs to be a basic website. Now, this is not sponsored in the least, but websites like Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, if you're doing a shop, things like that. These are all so good these days that they are so good, they're so cheap, you can just use that and it will look good. One of my first businesses was when I was 17 and I was building websites. I had to hard code them from scratch. This was obviously before the days of Google. It was still in the very early internet days, really commercially for consumers anyway. It was still in the very early days. But I hand built and hand coded this website for this guy to sell his videos. He was selling train spotting videos and back on VHS, and I would list them and take the photographs, and I built the website from scratch, designed it, everything. These days, very, very straightforward website is perfectly fine. So don't spend money on those. Launch parties, forget it. Don't waste money on those. Doesn't work. Network meetings, they can be okay if you really want to do business to business and meet like-minded people that you can work with and things like that. But for the vast majority of them, a waste of time, a waste of money, and don't work. Some of them can work, but in my experience, for the vast majority of them, they don't really take you any further forward. It's only really your own efforts that really work. So this brings us really to the mindset. And the reason I tell you all that is it's all a mindset, because the mindset with those things is, if I just buy this thing, it will make it work. If I just pay this person this money to help me, it will work. If I just spend the money on the website, it will work. If I just buy the stationery, it will work. If the logo is great, it will work. In one of my first businesses, I paid, I think, £500 to a friend to design all the graphics for the website at the time, because I thought, naively, I just thought, if the website looks fantastic and this artwork is fantastic, then people will sign up and it will be brilliant. It wasn't a waste of money. I won't insult him. It was excellent artwork, but the artwork did nothing to make the website work. It did nothing to encourage people to, but they wouldn't care whether it's got this graphics on it or not. If they're going to sign up to a website because the website works, they will sign up to the website because the website works, or they want the service, or they want the product, or whatever it is. They will sign up to it for that reason. Most of all, they'll sign up to it because someone else told them. So this is a mindset. So the first thing I'd like you, if you want to create a business, create wealth, or expand and enhance your career, it is a mindset thing. Paying money for something because you think it will make it work is a flawed idea. It's just not going to work. I've been there, I've done it, and so trust me, that's not the way. And finally, before I come on to the next point, because I've realized that I've got to put this in, otherwise it won't make sense, but also, it's a bit like YouTube as well. This is a really good camera. The other camera is a really good camera. But buying the camera will not make your YouTube channel work. Buying the new lens will not make your YouTube channel work. The microphone is probably more important than the camera, but buying the new microphone is not going to make your YouTube channel work. I have lots of microphones. I've got the one that I'm not using to film at the moment, which is this one here, the Shure SM7B. I'm currently using a Sony microphone, which is a whole other story in itself. It's a fantastic microphone, but buying the next thing is not going to make it work. I have another, what I'm using now is a 14mm fixed prime lens. I also have this, which is a Sony 24-70 GM2 lens, which is absolutely fantastic. Not a sponsored video, but it's a fantastic lens. But you don't need this to make the YouTube channel work. Again, the reason for all this is the mindset. The mindset is twofold. One, you don't need to spend the money to make the thing work. You need to do the thing that is going to create the business, create the wealth, create the value, create the thing that generates the money and the profit. We'll come back to that in a minute. So it's not spending money on something to make that work. Secondly, when you do buy something, it should be of good value. So the value will jump out. So if you're going to spend money on something, it should be of good value. Otherwise, it's a bit of a waste. And again, this feeds into the mindset. It's the money mindset of having things of good value, using things of good value, because long term, they will reward you for having these things and spending the money on things that are good value. But equally, we watch every single penny that is in or out. Because I know a lot of people that don't watch everything that's in or out. They don't know how much they spend, for example, on subscriptions every month. If that's you, that should be one of the first things you look at, because you'll be amazed and probably surprised by how much is going out every month on these subscriptions. Once you go through the process of seeing how much goes out once you go through the process of finding out how much goes out in these subscriptions, monthly subscriptions, you'll want to cut them all off. Now, if you've got Sky or whatever, just because occasionally you watch something, or you've got Netflix because occasionally you watch something, you get the idea. These are the first things you can cut out. So watching and being absolutely mindful about what you do spend money on is absolutely critical, even when you are making a lot of money. So even if you're on, let's say you're on a salary of £100,000 a year or £150,000 a year, and you still don't feel comfortable and at ease, you don't feel like you can buy what you want because all of your money somehow disappears. Yes, a big chunk of it goes to tax. Always pay your tax. Don't ever skimp on your tax. Just pay it, because it will otherwise eventually catch up with you. So just pay it, get it done, bite the bullet and do it. But if after tax and then all of your other expenses and everything else, somehow, for some reason, you don't feel like you can buy what you want and enjoy your life, because you just don't feel like there's enough money there, even though on paper you're earning a good salary, these are some of the things you need to look at. And having that mindset of confronting and addressing where all the money is going, right down to the penny, is absolutely critical. That is the mindset. And that mindset begins before you even think about what it is you're doing for business, for work, for creative, passion, sidelines, whatever it might be. That mindset has to be set right at the beginning, wherever you are now, whatever you're doing, whether you're working, whether you've got a business, whatever stage you are at, you can always take it back to the absolute basic level. And there is a spreadsheet I went through in great detail in a previous video on this channel. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, by the way, because then you can get notification of these new videos if you hit the bell. And in the previous video, I went through in great detail this spreadsheet, which showed you how you can set up everything that is going out of your accounts, and then the input, where you're getting money from, your job, your business, or whatever. And it will tell you in raw detail what you have at the end of all of that. And without confronting that, you really won't know where you are. And if you don't know where you are, you won't know how to get where you want to go. So the first two money mindset is, don't waste money on things thinking that it's going to fix the problem. But if you do spend anything on it, it's got to be of good value. So I wouldn't really want to buy a third-party lens. I would want to buy Sony's own lens, even though it's more expensive, because it's probably better. It's just more solid, etc. Not to say that there aren't any others that are really good. There obviously are. I would personally just want to get the best quality. When I am going to spend the money on it, I want it to be the best quality. But don't spend it thinking that let's say your goal is to set up a YouTube channel. Don't think for when I get the camera, it'll work, or now I've got the camera, I just need the lens, then it'll work, or need a microphone, need this, need that, need the other, need a better computer, whatever. You don't need all of that. If you have a phone, for example, whatever the phone is, even if it's in, remember, like Mr. Beast was recorded the first, I think he did 100,000 subscribers, I think, using one of the original iPhones. And I know some really big creators have only ever used an iPhone. Shout out to Charlie Veach, still uses, for the most recent videos, a phone, and does his videos on a phone. I will have to tag him now that I've mentioned him. So you don't need the big fancy equipment. Again, just emphasizing the point. Buying the thing doesn't make the thing work. What does make it work, and where is this mindset? Okay, the mindset, once you've dealt with the money side of don't spend versus watch what you spend, and when you spend, spend it wisely. If I've done that enough, now you're ready for the next stage of the mindset, which is what is going to make it work. The only thing, and you can probably hear it in my voice here, the thing that's going to make it work is passion. I, for example, am passionate here about helping you. If you're still watching, it's going to work for you, because most of the people that it won't work for have left by now. I am passionate about helping you create wealth, create the life that you want, create the career you want, minimize your expenses, make more of your money that's coming in, and genuinely live a better life. Because once you get control of all of these things, that is what's going to make it work. And it's the passion that makes that work. The reason my main YouTube channel works, Black Belt Barrister, is because I'm passionate about simplifying and demystifying the law, and more recently, the political news and what's going on in the news, which is tangential with the law and how it affects everybody. Because it affects everybody, I am passionate about talking about that and helping people to understand it, filling in the blanks where the media miss out chunks of information, or they don't read the report and they don't include bits in it. And I like to go to the report, and I like to read it out, and I like to point out where I think the inaccuracies are and all that sort of stuff. I'm passionate about doing that. On occasion, I teach at the law school, trainee barristers. I am passionate about doing that. If you think about any other channels you have on YouTube, I'm using YouTube because it's an easy example. If you think about channels that do cooking, for example, they are passionate about the cooking. If you remember a channel that you like to watch, it's because they are passionate about what they're presenting. That is where the real key comes in. That's the real mindset. That's the real value mindset. And I will show you something, because in doing my work here, I was nominated without me knowing for an award, which I then won, the Modern Law Awards, because of the communication aspect of running this channel. And so then when it comes to it, it really comes down to the passion of running the channel and just getting on with it, really, and uploading more and more videos. And it's really the passion that really counts. So I want to do some more regular videos of just thought processes that I have. This is a bit of a mind dump from a few conversations I've had in the last few days that I think has really helped a lot of people along. And I'd like to leverage the current thoughts that I have with all of you watching and see if that resonates with you. If that does, please bop the like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what aspects of your life you really need to overturn and look at. What are you passionate about? Because at the same time, so many people will not do what they are passionate about for fear that it doesn't work, or that it won't work, that it won't make money. And I know that I haven't talked a lot in this video about actually how to make money, but the key is in doing these things first. Getting control of the money first, and then addressing where your passion sits. Because once you discover your passion for something, then we can talk about what you do with it. So if you like that, and you'd like the next stage of what you do with your passion, hit subscribe, leave me comments down below, and I'll speak to you next time.